Live whenever you're ready.
Bro, y'all ready for the sode?
Yeah, let's do this.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You haven't forgotten anything?
I don't think so.
Did you washy?
No!
You've just watched into the 3-Bit Gamer Show. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
And this is Peterson.
And don't forget to washy. No washy. No yummy for your tummy. I wonder if this is that's a universal experience across
if people
cruises.
know that it is.
You guys who went on this cruise, you might have heard about. And one of the things that stood out to us most was perhaps the most demeaning job I've ever seen in the world.
Absolutely.
Outside of the buffet where they encourage you walk through a gauntlet of hand washing stations. And they encourage you to wash them by placing an employee there wearing a pink sash that says washy on it. And she has to dance around like a monkey to popular music, inserting the words washy into all of the songs. And while like boomers dance mockingly in her face.
Yeah. Like they loved, every time you'd see someone who loved washy, and you're just like, there's a better way to make us wash our hands.
We're convinced it's a demeaning punishment for employees on the cruise ship who fuck up, that you have to wear the washy sash and go do washy.
Yeah.
She has a big long stick that she used to shove the paper towels down into the garbage can. That was like 50% of her job. The other 50% was demeaning herself.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Got to washy.
But also, if you want a job on a cruise ship and you're enthusiastic about hand washing,
we have a job for you.
There's a spot.
You're gonna love it.
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show, the news.
Alrighty then. This week's news are brought to us by Crave Cookies. Crave Cookies is this awesome cookie shop in nationwide. We're nation cookies.
There you go.
Crave has a rotating menu, a bunch of new cookies every Friday, but we tell you what is coming out on Tuesday because we love you and you're our favorites.
Yeah.
Coming up next week on the Crave Cookies menu, the Biscoff S'more. Is this right? Do I have this right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Biscoff S'more, the Brooklyn Blackout Brownie. Try to say that 10 times fast. That's the one that has milk chocolate, dark or semi-sweet chocolate, and white chocolate chips in a brookie dough.
Okay, that sounds intense. I'm in.
It's very chocolate and it's got a little powdered sugar on top. The cookies and caramel, always a favorite. The new peanut butter pie, which is kind of like the whoopie pie that we have with the 2 chocolate cookies that has the cream cheese inside. But it's like a peanut butter cream cheese.
Okay, interesting.
So, yeah, my 2 favorite things: peanut butter and cream cheese. Just smear that on a bagel for me. And then the last one is the lemon raspberry beignet.
Oh,
which is just amazing. It's more cream cheese than cookie, but it is so fantastic. So all these cookies are amazing this week. So get on down to Crave Cookies and get your cookie on. Roblox hasn't made enough campaign contributions, so the U.S. Senate is pretending like it cares about powerful pedophiles for a change. Sometimes
they care a little.
Yeah, when
it's like a couple guys, it won't go anywhere. Trump will shut it down for sure. But yeah,
like, these are my people. I have to protect them. The Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime and Counterterrorism has opened a bipartisan investigation. 2 names you don't often hear together: Senators Josh Hawley and Dick Durbin are working together. They sent a letter to Roblox CEO David Baszucki. And they said, quote, in this letter, which was basically just reading Roblox, the Riot Act. I mean, it's never going to lead to anything. Senate hearings never do.
Yeah.
Let's see, quote, in 2025, Roblox reported 65,381 instances of suspected child sexual exploitation to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, more than double what it reported in 2024. Now, just to reiterate those numbers, in a single year last year, over 65,000 instances that were reported, which was double 2024, which, by the way, those are the reported instances, and you have to imagine the vast majority are going unreported. So
yeah,
just keep that in mind. The requests that were made in this letter included how much. So they're like, you need to come with some numbers. And a couple of those things were how much money Roblox makes off of different age brackets. I mean, hell, I'd like to see that. So this is going to be sweet if they actually follow through.
Yeah, I was going to say some of this stuff would be super interesting to see.
How many hours users of different age spend in Roblox. So I think you'd see a high spike between like 8 and 11-year-olds and like 50 and 60-year-old men. How many Roblox
you're going to see a ton of 18 to 25-year-olds. All of them are 8 to 12-year-olds.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. How many Roblox accounts in 2024 and 2025 have been reported for preying on children? And what measures? Because that's the 65,000 number. That's instances, and you got to wonder how many of those are repeat offenders. If those are all unique accounts that are doing this, what measures the company has in place to protect children, guys? I can actually fill you in on that one. You can send the letter over to me here in Utah.
We got it. We got this.
They have no measures in place. They found that any measures they put in place to limit child sexual exploitation caused the money number to go down. And the money number cannot ever go down. Even 1 penny. It must go up. It does not matter how many children are abducted or raped from this platform. The money number must go up. So Roblox Chief Safety Officer Matt Kaufman replied, Roblox is built on the foundation of safety. We do not compromise on that commitment. We look forward to sharing the facts about how we work to protect children on the platform. Okay, cool. Well, bring receipts, bro, because 65,000 instances doesn't seem like you're doing enough. I mean, it seems like a lot.
That seems
like a fair amount.
Like several tens of thousands too many.
Yeah, like 65,000 too many.
Like 65,000?
5 figures. Again, these are reported numbers, so we can safely assume there's over 6 figures worth of these things happening on Roblox every year. So, I mean, you break that down daily. This is happening hundreds of times a day, if not thousands of times a day. You guys are failing. You guys are not doing a good job. So we'll see. Like that's what's interesting about it. It is a Senate subcommittee hearing, so we might actually get some decent shit out of it. And I don't know that Roblox has a super PAC yet, so they can't. They haven't bought any congressmen, which I will say is foolish because buying a congressman is like tens of thousands of dollars these days. It's so cheap. You can do it for.
They are,
but this will be a lesson learned. This will be a lesson learned for Roblox. They'll go in, they'll buy a senator's a little more expensive, but also not impossible for Roblox. So you could probably buy a senator, a handful of Congress people, and you'd never have to deal with this shit ever again. So learn your lesson, guys. Learn how the country works. Blowing it. id Software lead services programmer has gone nuclear on Microsoft for what they've done to gut the studio. This is the active lead services programmer, by the way. This guy is currently cashing a Microsoft paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I love the energy. We'll see if he keeps his job.
Retaliation. Here we go.
Yeah, right. His name is Chris Hayes. He's been there since 2010. And he was speaking in an interview with Auf ein Bier, which is a gaming podcast. He said, I'm just going to read a ton of these quotes because, they speak for themselves. Again, this is lead services programmer Chris Hayes, who's been working at id Software. id Software is the guys behind Doom, Doom Eternal, Doom the Dark Ages are the last ones they made. Doom 2016, he's been there since before that game came out, a couple of years before that. And the studio has now been reduced by Microsoft's layoffs down to pre-Doom 2016 numbers. And they're expected to pump out another Doom game. And, he argues, and everyone's been saying, okay, well, we can't. The studio grew commensurate with the complexity of the games, and you can't just like expect that we're going to be able to just put out a Doom game with, you know, the team. And they were gutted indiscriminately. It wasn't like this was strategic or anything. And so anyway, here's the quotes. It's hard to make a game that is AAA. Like, that's like what we've done before with half the people. And by hard, I mean impossible. It's hard to make a game when there are entire departments that are gutted, that what you need, entire disciplines that are gone. Yeah. So if they've got some new kind of plan for how this is going to work that hasn't been told, we don't know what that is. The reassurance is that we're the same id and we're still going to do things. Well, first of all, we're not the same id. We're half the same id. Id was the people. What made us special was the people and the relationships we have. So he goes off, you know, he really drills into the point that Microsoft gutted them and then just walked away like, figure it out, but you'll be good. Yeah,
you can still do it. You can still do it.
So he says, all right. Microsoft's given id no real actionable goals on top of this. So they're like, yeah, they just say, make the best game you can, which is not great. That seems like you're absolutely being set up for failure. It's one thing if your parent tells you that and you go out and before the big football game and you go out and you play your best game. It's another thing if your parent has spent the week beating you mercilessly, telling you if you don't play a good game, what's going to happen when you get home. And then right before the game, they say, it's okay, just go out there and play the best game you can. That's the energy here. Is like an abused partner, an abused child who's being told to go do the best you can. No actionable stuff that they've given them. Just he goes on to say, they don't want more people to jump ship and say, oh, there's no more future in id, so we're all going to leave. And then there's no one left. They don't want unrest. And at the end of the day, most of it was just trying to tell us, oh, no, everything's fine. Things will be okay. So Microsoft goes into damage control for their own actions.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no. Because they've realized, I think maybe instantaneously, that if you can half of a studio and then you don't give them any support or guidance or structure. And let's not forget, 1,600 cuts still looming over any Microsoft gaming employee. Those haven't been executed on. That's just sitting there. So to think that they're going to go out and make
they just drop that and they're like, everybody better perform. It could be you. They're just like hanging over everyone's head. How would you feel?
You'd feel like leaving. And that's what he's saying they're freaking out over. I mean, the idea that this guy is giving this interview and being so brazen speaks to the fact. I mean, look at him. Like, he's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, he clearly doesn't give a shit about losing his job. And he's been there for 16 years. So imagine the energy writ large across the studio. It's probably very, very similar. Yeah. He just has clearly enough clout and probably enough money to do this. I mean, this is the kind of guy, lead services programmer, that can either go get another job anywhere at another AAA or just casually found a AAA or an indie studio or a AA studio and just keep going. So he's saying, I imagine, what everyone else is thinking it id. He says, quote, you're not doing a game sold business model. They fundamentally, he's referring to Game Pass and how that's ruined things as well. You're not doing a game sold business model. They fundamentally don't understand art. They don't understand art. They don't understand games. They don't understand that business model. To hear this, like Microsoft, who's been in games for over 2.5 decades, and to hear this accusation that they, from one of their big studios, to say that they don't understand. This is the impression he's got working with them, that they don't even understand the business of games, despite the fact that they are such a massive player in it, is unreal. Yeah, I think this id thing is going to be, I don't know. This is why I wanted to track. I'm keeping an eye on this. Of all the Microsoft layoffs, this one seems to be the most glaring, the most impactful, possibly.
Yeah,
because this is a cell phone from Microsoft where they had Doom, which is a series that is known as great name recognition, and the last 3 games they put out have been fantastic, phenomenal, great sellers, critically acclaimed. Mm-hmm. And then they go shoot this. They cut half the studio that made that. And they're looking at their big hits. They can't put out a fucking Halo game to save their life. They squeaked out a Gears of War game. Who knows? But that was by sheer force of will. And it took bringing in, God, I can't remember his name, Ron something, bringing in ringers to push that thing over the finish line. And still, I mean, this is they're hurting for good IP, and they can half of id to, I don't know, make the stock, make the shareholders happy. I don't know, but I love this. Chris Hayes just saying what I would guess everyone at it is thinking, and Microsoft's eating shit on this.
Here's what I want. You know what I would love? You know what I would make my year?
Yeah.
If a studio like id, right? Obviously, there's some discontent there. They make a Doom game. They make the game they're showing Microsoft folks. They're like, here's the game. Here's what it looks like. I think we're ready. On launch day, they have embedded something into the code where you only get half a game. And by half a game, I mean your screen is cut in half. And you're just like, you gave us half the tools to work with, half the people to work with. Here's your game. You get half a game.
Fantastic.
I would
this type of strike action.
Like, I want them to be like, yes, we made a game. We're doing it. We're doing it. What you said. And then just like take their half and leave.
Yeah.
Be like, now half of the screen is black. And
I think that counts as strike action. I think that counts. Yeah, I don't know. I would love it so much, because they just put out the latest Doom game. So how are they going to put out another one? They're going to have to. I don't know.
They're staffed at pre-2016 levels. Like they
and think of this stuff. And it's not like they're staffed evenly. It's not like, oh, we're back to the 2016. Which if that had happened, if they'd been at least that thoughtful to go like, hey, what roles, not persons, because I'm sure they've moved a lot of people in 9 years, but what roles did we have in 2016? If we have all those filled, everyone else can go. They weren't that thoughtful, even.
No.
And that's the other thing I think that he's saying is there's so many disciplines that have emerged in 9 years of video game development that may not have even existed in 2016. So you can't really do it that way either. But certainly how they've done it, which is just a clean 1600. That's just like a nice even number, which shows proof positive. It was just a number. There's no strategy or tactics that went into this at all. Killing it.
Best way to do it.
Only way. A writer at Saber Interactive was replaced by ChatGPT during development on its ride-sharing game.
This one a lot.
This is a former lead writer at Saber Interactive, Stella Seiko. We're going with Seiko. She was working on Saber's ride-share stimulator, not simulator. Funny. On Blue Ski, she said, quote, I was the lead writer on this one, and Saber replaced me with ChatGPT midway through development. All the passenger voices were AI too. Either they changed direction at some point or they're not disclosing it on Steam. And she goes on to say in a later post, my boss, to his credit, argued over and over with the C-level who pushed the AI. Said, quote, we already have Stella. She's funny and she's good at this, but she's done live games before, so live ops are no problem. But the suit insisted gamers love new tech, so using AI would be great marketing.
That just made me like cringe inside.
Historical misread. What's the opposite of Nostradamus, where you just make the most dumbass predictions? Dumbass.
Nostro Trump. I mean, dumb. Yeah.
This
what are we doing?
Fucking guy. He said she said later, when this edict came down, I warned Matt Karsh. Matt Karsh is the CEO of Saber, who made the AI push that players hated AI in December of 2023, and they'd hate it even more by the time the game came out. I told him this pushback would happen. He didn't listen to me. He didn't listen to my boss. He seemingly doesn't listen to anyone at all.
Oh, dude. I can't.
I'm still gonna love AI.
I'm still reeling about this. They're like, no, this is like a good marketing thing that we have. People love this.
We made a game with flock cameras because people are gonna love flock cameras. Gamers love new technology.
I can't and this goes back to your last story about Microsoft, like that guy saying they don't understand games and they don't understand art. they're just like, no, gamers are gonna love AI running their games for them. Like, ugh, oh my god, they just don't get it. The C-suite does not get it. How did
No,
they
this is
get
why
these jobs?
I'm sitting here cheering for the death of AAA. Like every time, like I'm like, cool, Microsoft destroying. Like that's the thing. It sucks. It sucks for everything. It sucks for everyone involved. That if the guys that made Doom just fizzle out and die, but ultimately, like I'm like, what else do we have here? Because these guys are going to keep climbing up and putting themselves on a cross so that Microsoft can keep making money and fucking up the industry in general. I mean, they have done historically shitty things that will have reverberating effects throughout the industry for decades. And I'm like, no, they all should go. We're just doing indies now. Saber responded to this claim, said, neither Saber nor Unengine have replaced any writers for AI for rideshare with AI for rideshare or any other game. In fact, Saber's staff of writers has tripled since 2023. Rideshare's story was written entirely by real people. Okay, first of all, clearly a lie.
Yeah.
Because you can't prove it otherwise. And then he also doesn't address what she said about passenger voices or AI, because that's one that you can't lie about.
That will be AI for sure.
And Seiko responded, she's like, they can say whatever they want. I was there. I think the posts actually have been pulled down. She pulled down the post, so we might see some more on this story. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, probably see some legal action on this, but that's if you want to play Rideshare Simulator, if you want to have an AI, you want to laugh at jokes written by a robot, Saber's got the game for you.
Yeah, I feel like this has doomed their game. Like they've doomed their own game. It's over. Like who's gonna
that's why they're gonna sue her. They have nothing to lose because they're not gonna make any.
They're not gonna make any money. They're like, maybe we can scratch some money off of this.
Because the type of people, the audience, there's not a Call of Duty or FIFA audience that is not read into video game stuff and is gonna be like, oh, I'll just buy this. The only people buying a game called Rideshare Simulator are pretty like gamers.
Yeah.
And they're going to be, and if this doesn't get reviewed bombed, I'll be shocked.
Oh, I love it. See, I love weaponizing review bombs for stuff like this. So good.
Well, if anything, now, at least at the very minimum, all it does is just get you to stop for a second when you're buying a game. Be like, why does this have such bad reviews? And then you read a few and you're like, oh. So you don't even need to read, Kotaku to get this stuff. You get your news from review bombs. That's where I get all my gaming news. Is bad reviews on Steam.
Our news segment sometimes wanes a little bit because we're like, man, we can't find the review bombs this week.
There's no review news.
What are we supposed to do? How do we get there?
How am I going to be informed? Netflix is shutting down more studios it just bought because, like every other tech company that ever tried making games, they have no clue whatsoever what they're doing. This seems
they're like, there's money in games, we're gonna buy them and do that.
Yeah, let's just do that. That's fine. So Netflix is now down to one in-house studio. The ones that they closed down were Night School, which was based in LA, and they acquired those guys in 2021. And Moonloot, which was in Helsinki, and that was founded in 2022. And Netflix, in a statement to GameFile, said, quote, we see an opportunity to be more focused in our execution. So we are making organizational changes to the business to match these priorities.
Why are we doing so many organizational changes?
Yeah, why don't you guys just admit that you did a shit job before and you're trying to clean up for it now?
Right. I think, and we've said this before, but genuinely, I feel like if the C-suite, whatever executive comes out and says, hey, we gotta do some organizational changes, and they're doing layoffs because they feel like their staff is bloated, they are first on the chopping block because it happened under them.
You bloated it, you idiots.
You're the one. You were in charge, and now it's too bloated to make money. Yeah, you're on the chopping block. You made the bad decisions.
I mean, there's so many people in this too, because Netflix comes to you as the head of the studio, the head of Netflix games, and they're like, here is just a dump truck full of cash. You can take it, which is what they did. Or you can be fucking smart about it and be like, I can't just turn cash into more cash. games take a minute to develop. We're going to do this slow so that we're not a huge drag on our profits, and that we can build into this slowly and figure out what we're doing. But that's not how tech companies work. That's not how they think. You just go super fast. And unfortunately, that's not how games are made. So, again, just a theme of huge players in the gaming industry having no clue what they're doing. In fact, just 6 weeks ago, Night School released a 30-minute first-person horror game, which you could stream on your TV if you're a Netflix user, called Unhinged. And Netflix co-CEO Greg Peters was talking to investors and said they're seeing really solid numbers. So again, so you go from really solid numbers to closing the studio outright.
To shut it down.
They just have one.
Also, maybe here's your problem. You have a co-CEO. How many guys we need doing this job that's not really a job?
And they're doing it bad.
Yeah, like how about we get
why don't you make some organizational changes and maybe you can be more focused in your execution in the C-suite? I don't know. Maybe. So their last first-party studio is Next Games. It's also in Helsinki. It made a bunch of couch-centric party games, which seems right in the money for Netflix, which means it's probably going to get shuttered in a month or so.
Right away.
Very cool. I love this. That they got in on that post-COVID low interest rate cash, spent a bunch of it, ruined a bunch of people's lives, and now they get to close all those studios, and their stock price goes up, and everyone gets a little richer that made the decisions in the first place. What are we doing? What's going on?
Snorgle says in the comments, which I did read, and I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Night School was the studio that made the Oxenfree games, and so
those were big.
Oxenfree are big, right? Like I think I had one downloaded. It was
popular enough to make a sequel.
So get them out of here. We don't need them.
You can't have it. Well, hold on.
Oh,
sorry. I have to go back because this is another thing.
Rewind that. I don't know how to rewind.
Undo it. I
do
it backwards. This is exactly. I'm sorry. What the lead services programmer at id was saying. The game sold business model, which is what Netflix was not doing.
Yeah,
because they're just giving these away for free. Same thing with Game Pass. You just give away games for free. So you come in here and you apply a model to the gaming industry that's never happened before and it's never worked. And not only do you not test it, like, let's see how this works. You go all in on it and you just invest huge in it because is this like really the play on this here is that people who were not Netflix subscribers will subscribe because of this, or conversely, people will not unsubscribe because Netflix offers them a service in gaming that they can't live without. And both of those things are so silly on their face. I can't like Game Pass. I can understand more. Netflix gaming without charging for the games, without charging an extra $2 add-on for your subscription, which would have made perfect sense, is unbelievable. But here we are.
Yeah, so essentially they just made your for them, they made your subscription dollars for them less valuable.
Exactly.
And you're like, because no one is getting Netflix so they can play games on Netflix.
I would love to meet
nobody
that like segment of Netflix users. There's like 300 people in all of America that sign
and they're
up for
psychotic.
Netflix.
Like
they're crazy as shit.
Yeah, like no, honestly, they probably shouldn't even be
only
in the
have Netflix
population
for games. They are absolutely unhinged. Most of them are playing on the prison-issued phone that they have.
Can I do the bumper now?
Yeah, I guess.
Don't.
Wait, one more thing and another thing. Defying the glass cliff she was perched on, Blizzard president Johanna Faries is crushing it. This was Johanna Faries. We haven't talked about her in a minute, which is usually a good sign on this podcast. It's even better if we don't know your name at all. She was
I was like, I don't remember this person's name.
Well, dude, I have a huge mea culpa to do on this because we did talk about when they promoted her to this position. You'll remember this. She was the previous general manager for Call of Duty at Activision. She took Mike Ybarra's role. She was the chick that was with the NFL for 12 years.
Okay.
And
vaguely remember that.
yeah, and they brought her in to give legitimacy to Call of Duty esports. And so she started in Activision in 2018. So I was very critical. I mean, she'd been in fairness, she had 7 more years of experience in gaming than Asha Sharma does. But I was pretty critical of, like, you know, we've got an NFL and Call of Duty exec stepping in. Like, how is she actually going to turn this ship around at Blizzard? My bad. I'll eat shit on this one because she's made Blizzard a rare bright spot in Microsoft's gaming portfolio. And something that, I mean, this is a thing that I think, unfortunately, I've noticed is if we're not talking about something on this podcast, it's probably doing well. In 2026,
we've got enough bad things to talk about to where we don't have to dive into the like just normal.
Yeah, Overwatch, since they went from Overwatch 2 to Overwatch back to Overwatch, has just been crushing it. They got all the fans back, and everyone's tickled pink. They released 5 new heroes like all at once, which was a smart move because that means everyone can every game you play, you can try a new hero, no matter what. One of the new ones. It's not like you queue into a match and you try to race to select the new one as fast as possible. You can always select a new character. That was huge. And then they went back to 5. They created a new 5v5 mode. That was the old 5v5 mode. Everyone's really psyched on Overwatch, and not to mention Diablo 4 has done something very similar. Kind of a resurgence, and WoW is just humming along out there. I think she just got Microsoft, got Blizzard out of the way. I think we did talk last year about Johanna. We did check in with her because she was talking about how, remember, that was the line she said is, Matt Booty is not getting in my way. He's just saying, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do for you? Mm-hmm. And it seems like she's like this, and she is just sharp as a tack. Just said in the financial year 2026, so that just ended, Blizzard ended the year as a top performing studio in Xbox Studio Division. This past year's marked our 3rd highest fiscal for top line revenue in Blizzard's history. They also started seeing consecutive years of growth again for the first time since Overwatch launched in 2016. Now, Blizzard does have a kind of a unique setup because they've just got a couple really big franchises, and if they don't have a big release year, their revenue is going to be down. And so, that's a big thing that Bobby Kotick was pushing on. We got to do something every year. And I think Matt Booty inherited that feeling. And I think Johanna Faries stepped in and was just like, no, we're going to do things properly again, like we used to. And it's worked, and they're making money. And Microsoft's getting out of their way, which is something Microsoft seems categorically incapable of doing with every other studio that they own. Maybe she just scares them. Maybe this is the whole thing with Microsoft. It is women of color terrify Microsoft executives because how else did Asha Sharma get the job? She's like a child with like very little experience, and I think she came into the job interview and they pissed their pants and they're like, "Do it, you take it, mommy. I can't do this. I'm fucking everything up. You do it." I'm thinking like Asha Sharma's gonna do the same fucking thing. She's gonna prove all of us wrong. They march him up to this glass cliff. They're like, "Here you go, woman of color. Enjoy failing, and we'll blame you for not being a white man." And she just crushes it, just knocks it out of the fucking park. Yeah, dude, buckle up. Asha Sharma's gonna do the same thing, I guess. Here's the thing. Not feeling great about her layoffs, but
there's a part of me that hopes it crashes and burns so we can get a little bit of a reset and get into like the studios can be making games the way they're supposed to be made, which is not just me being an old guy being like, we go back to how the good old days. This is literally like every person with any sense is saying that, like we heard in that story earlier. They're like, these guys don't know what they're doing when it comes to making games. They just don't. They don't know any of this. So like we need to crash and burn a little to get there. However, the other side of me would love to see studios turn it around and be successful because that means we're getting good games.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what I want to see. But so, both sides of the same coin.
You see an old decrepit house on your street and you have those same exact thoughts.
Yeah.
Either I would love it if that thing would just fucking burn to the ground and we could scrape it and be done with it. Or someone moves in there and they fix the whole thing up and make it look spiffy and new. And you're like, hell yeah.
Flip it, do the yard. Like, yeah,
You
let's
just
make this
want to
better.
not be looking at the shitty house that is Microsoft anymore.
Like boarded up windows and stuff.
It
we don't
doesn't
want that.
necessarily need to burn. Just in our mind's eye, that seems to be the easiest track.
It's
and the
more
track
fun.
on,
It's more fun for
just
me.
like the decrepit house. It's probably a fire hazard, just like Microsoft. But if somebody can miraculously come in and strip it down, and it's got good bones, which I don't think Microsoft does, maybe we can clean it up.
Maybe that's what's happening. There wasn't a couple old houses in my area that were, they were livable, but like they're not nice. And the city purchased them because they're bulldozing it and turning it into a lot. It was like on a corner.
Sure.
So they're putting businesses there. But before they took them down, the fire department comes in and uses them for training, lighting fires and like doing that sort of thing.
I love that shit. Yeah.
Maybe that's what's happening. Like on a positive note, that's what capitalism is trying. They're like, what if we just take this studio and we just burn it down and like see what happens?
Like a controlled burn.
Can we learn some stuff?
Fires. Yeah.
Can we learn something from this? I would love that for that to be the case, because it is pretty dope watching the firefighters like burn stuff down and like practice on it. But I don't think that's what's happening.
Recently learned about this plant that grows in Alaska called fireweed. And it is named as such because it is the first plant that grows often after a forest fire. And I think that is a fantastic name for a game studio.
Oh, yeah.
That can be what we do, is we scoop up lots of fireweed.
Dope as balls.
Right? Fireweed Studios. You and I are founding it. We just need to find a couple $1 million. We got this.
And people know how to make games, because we don't know how to do that at all.
We know how to judge people who make games.
We're so good at that. You have no idea how good we are at that. We could do that.
We can backseat drive all day long. Can't drive though. These are little news stories. Not a lot of meat on the bone, but we have a lot of them. Big basket of riblets. You guys, we were out on a cruise ship for God knows how long. Lost track of time. If it wasn't for the floor of the elevator, I'd have no idea where I was.
You don't know what day it is? Like it's like we were on the ship. We got on like a Friday.
And they don't put those on the stairs. They know. They know no one's taking the stairs on a cruise ship.
No,
they don't put any.
The stairs know what day it is. No, I remember Monday rolled around and we were like, it's only Monday. We still
5
have
days
the
left.
whole week, because it was over on Friday. We were like, this. I feel like I've already been here a week. So
yeah, it was like because it just time just became irrelevant.
Yeah. So what was the cruise? We were talking about riblets. Nuggets, ribs,
nuggets.
I don't know.
Meat. Pal World has launched a trading card game, and it is immediately out of stock and plagued by scalpers. So
just nailing the Pokemon thing.
Nintendo's gonna be pissed. They're ripping off every part of it.
That's what happens to us. That's our thing.
You can't do that. You can't
do it.
Do that.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
That's illegal.
It's illegal for you to ask me that.
This fucking bullshit. The game launched on July 30th. Already, they're running out of stock everywhere. Pal World's trading card creators have been quick to apologize and are promising future updates on how they intend to address the issue. So that's where they've separated themselves from Nintendo. In court, the judge will strike Nintendo's lawsuit and be like, hey, they're actually trying to fix the scalper issue instead of actively encouraging it and building machines that help the scalpers. So yeah, they'll throw that out. They say, quote, we sincerely apologize. The product remains in short supply, preventing many of you who are looking forward to it from purchasing it. They're just going to start selling the cards loose without shrink wrap. That's their solution. Just fuck the scalpers.
Just like, oh yeah.
And you buy them directly from, if you're buying them in stores from the guys that made the cards outside of the shrink wrap, that's awesome. That's so cool.
There's
I
like
love
there's
that.
like a rubber band around like 6 cards.
Yeah. Here you go.
They're like,
Uh,
no, we didn't sort these at all. This is how we get them.
This is what we
This
do.
is how they come to us.
in like a cardboard box. Asha Sharma went to Bethesda to see the new Elder Scrolls game while there was a giant inflatable rat outside. Peterson knows what that rat means. If you guys aren't aware, that's usually a tool that unions use when they are protesting outside of a business that has been perceived as anti-employee or even anti-union, as Bethesda, who was part of these layoffs, is now viewed. She didn't say shit. I mean, come on. It's not like she's going to say shit, but she did tweet live playthrough of the new Elder Scrolls 6 this morning. The scale and grandeur are incredible. The story is even greater. And the best part is it was made by half the people. Told you.
Yeah. Even the best news is that half the people made it.
And my stock.
That is a huge inflatable rat. I was thinking
right?
I was
That's a
thinking
big
like
one.
pretty big. This is like gigantic. Holy crap.
I don't know. I mean, not that I ever had the opportunity or ever would have the opportunity to be a true corporate stooge, but does this affect you? You're driving in and your Lincoln Navigator with the tinted out windows, you're picked up from your private plane, and you see you see people protesting outside, people who have lost jobs directly because of the decision you made. And they're pissed, and they're portraying you and a company that you run as a big rat, and you just go in there and you play some video games and do some tweets and peace the fuck out and hop back on your jet and get a kosher meal.
I mean, yes and no. I think in a very minor way it would affect you because like I work in HR and I've gone to a facility that was on strike and there's strikers out front in the gate in the facility. And you honk at them and wave, because like I'm not a C-suite person. I'm just I'm as much a victim of their decisions as these guys striking, right?
Yeah.
They have the ability to do something about it, whereas I'm just like I can't. What can I do?
Just put your fist out the window,
and I honk at them and just say, "Yeah, keep going, guys." And then, but as a C-suite executive who's like in charge of these decisions,
did the things.
I don't know. I think they're probably very good at justifying these things in their head.
I'm helping the company. If I hadn't done this
is what has to be done. There's no other way to
just following
not
orders,
make a game than not having people working on it. So like,
yikes. The imagery is fucking hilarious. I just can't get it out of my head that she happened to go there on that day. More Lord of the Rings remasters are in the works following War of the North's re-release. This is coming from Aspire. I hate it. It's Aster. That can't be right. This is tucked into a press release for the War of the North Legacy Edition, kind of just subtly. Fans can look forward to even more classic re-releases by Aspire for the beloved franchise in the future. So that's kind of cool. You can just go back all the way to PS2, PS1 days, see what Lord of the Rings games, including movie tie-ins.
Let's try it out.
Like, what are they going to do? So that's kind of cool if you guys are Lord of the Rings fans. There were a lot of awesome Lord of the Rings games back in the day.
I'm trying to remember if I played this one.
War in the North?
Yeah.
I
think I did. And I think I played it a lot.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, that was kind of an interesting thing back in the days that I kind of took for granted, is that most Lord of the Rings games kind of banger.
Yeah, I think I played this whole one and I really liked it. Yeah, I did play this. It's a good game.
Go check out the re-release because people
I know that's why I'm like, are they going to remaster it? Because that would be sweet, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm in. They want to remaster, remake these things. Do it. Yeah, these are good ones to do because we haven't had a great Lord of the Rings game forever. And I'm still waiting for that Total War Lord of the Rings. Like, why aren't they doing that? Just freaking do that.
Total War of the Rings. Come on.
I won't play any other games that whole year if they release it. That's it. That's my only game.
You do.
I'm going to talk about it every week on the podcast.
Sean Murray has talked about why we haven't seen more of Light No Fire, the latest game coming out of Hello Games. This was Sean Murray, the head of the studio, Hello Games, and the hype man for the infamous hype man for No Man's Sky, who is going on
He
late night shows and
overpromised a
everything.
little bit.
Overpromised just a wee bit, and then spent 10 full years trying to make up for that. And he did, and he over-delivered on everything, but still kind of carries that burden. He was talking in an interview with Kotaku. He doesn't do a lot of interviews these days, shockingly.
No.
Just 10 years heads down. He did acknowledge that time. He said he was kind of cringing at when he thinks about it. And I can't, honest to Christ, dude, yes, no, not great telling essentially outright lies.
Like JD was a victim of this. Like if you guys go back to listen to the early days of the podcast, he was a victim of No Man's Sky.
But it is so hard for me to hold a grudge against somebody for being genuinely incredibly enthusiastic and optimistic. Those are two things that I suffer from. It's honestly becomes problematic at times. And I think, were I in a situation like this, were I talking to because clearly they had the capability to do and make everything he said. They just hadn't done it yet. And so he kept looking forward just a little bit without realizing how much hard work that actually would go into making those things, executing on those things. He just got psyched.
He just gets excited, you guys. He's like a golden retriever. He's just like so pumped he can't help it.
Yeah, and he like knocks over something and his tail hits something and it whips you really hard.
Stop
you
it.
can't get mad
Stop
at
it, Sean.
Retriever.
Stop it. And he's like, I can't.
I can't stop wiggling this tail.
I'm so excited about this game.
he says in this interview with Kotaku, I had actually intended that we were going to go show it 6 months later. So he's talking about how they released that trailer, which he saw and it was awesome. And he was thinking, oh, we're going to do it again. We're going to release another trailer. And he's like really psyched. I'd actually intended that we were going to show it 6 months later, but we've shot up the Steam wishlist charts. We're like number 2 on there. And I was like, okay, that's enough. We don't need to say anymore. Why do any more marketing? Dude, what character growth Sean Murray has shown here. What a fantastic character arc for this dude that we've been following since the initial days.
He learned from some of his lessons. Oh
my God. And how? And matured into just like a fine wine where he's like, he sees that he releases a trailer. It delivers the fan base hypes itself. And he's like, we're number 2 on the Steam wishlist charts. I don't need to do shit. Studios, the publishers will pay tens of millions of dollars in marketing to get that specific stat, and they did it with a trailer. Bro, you're good. He knows he's good. And by the way, as any business on the whole earth, if they get to a point where they don't have to worry about marketing, everything's cheddar, dude. Everything's so easy. Are you kidding? You don't have to convince people to buy your product. You just go make it. How many people are blessed with that? I don't know. In-N-Out Burger and no one else. And Hello Games. This is the last quote that he said in this interview I wanted to say. He says, I don't think people realize just how ambitious it is and how crazy it is. And I look forward to people finding that out and to showing them. But I'm very happy right now just working on it in my own little cave and not having to worry about anything. Trying to pretend the outside world doesn't exist right now.
Well done.
Fantastic, dude.
Well done,
fantastic. Sean. If we could all, if only all gaming, I mean, he's in an indie studio, so that makes a lot more sense. But if we could get a lot more of this energy just across the industry, I would be certain. I'd be a lot happier. Our listeners would be a lot happier if we could go back to reporting like funny stories, like people knocking over a trading card store and then getting caught, or like fun stuff.
Guys, listen, like we look through the news. I want you to know
we don't do this on purpose.
We don't find that stuff hardly ever anymore.
Nothing's fun anymore.
It's just like, oh, guess what? Studio's laid off and everyone's dying and games suck and we're not making them anymore. And we're like, oh, that's what we get to report on. I remember reporting on really silly stuff. And we did a segment one time where like, is this news story fake or real? Because the news was so wacky.
We used to have good times.
And now it's just
like show in general, I'd say not only just like the show and the news you report on, but both Peterson and I personally have all just become darker.
I don't think back then I could have named a single video game CEO Not one. And now, like,
You got a laundry
he dropped
list.
their name, and I'm like, oh, this idiot.
I can
Here we
stack
go.
rank how stupid I think each one is. I can make a fucking top 10
Right now. Like, we just,
right
are
now.
we
just
doing this?
list
Okay.
all these
Number
idiots.
10.
Randy Pitchford. The making of the PS5 and Xbox discs is a quote industry secret, and nobody's allowed to talk about it on the record. Stephen Totillo over at GameFile went down trying to hunt down how exactly this process works, the fine details. You know, we know the high level stuff of, you know, this is the publisher submits the game and the art and the files and all this stuff, and then they have this timeline and these rules, and then Microsoft or Xbox will print the disc, put it in a box, ship it to you. But beyond that, not a lot of details. And what he was able to find off the record was that Microsoft and Sony charge about $10 per every shipped $70 game. So that's just right off the top, which is, I mean, to me, I think we're missing when we talk about how PlayStation and Xbox plan to go discless in the future, and how that's going to benefit them. I think it benefits the publishers even more.
Yeah.
Because but maybe wouldn't surprise me if that $10 is still coming off the top, even on digital games. Would not surprise me.
They're not changing the price. That's the thing. We've brought this up 1,000 times, but like the price of digital and physical should not be the same. It's bonkers.
But I think the most important thing here to me that I pulled out is how secretive it all is. They are not proud of what they are doing. Straight up. It's not an industry secret. You can't say that.
That's what they said. The story's like it's an industry secret, and you're like,
no,
I don't think it is.
You guys are doing scummy shit.
Yeah.
You don't want it to go. You don't want to be public about the scummy shit you're doing.
I think probably the only secret part of it is probably like how they're getting that game's code to the disc, right? Because like they don't want that to get out.
Oh, yeah, but who cares? They're just fucking printing it. I had a CD burner in 7th grade. It's not that hard. It's not some arcane science I won't understand.
Right.
But so you're secretive because you're fucking over publishers. You're fucking over gamers. You're probably fucking over everyone on just trying to make an extra couple pennies here and there. And maybe this is just how I was raised, but I would get in so much more trouble as a kid if I was trying to sneak than if I just did something bad and told my mom.
Yeah.
She hated the sneakiness so much more than any shit. I can't tell you I got into trouble doing anything in my whole life growing up that I was honest about and open as much as I did if I lied about something small, the end of the fucking world. So maybe this is just the lens that I view the sneaky corporate sneakiness. These are both publicly traded fucking companies. Like,
you just like what's the big secret?
What are you sneaking around for, you little slimy shitheads?
Like, do we have to waterboard a guy just to get this info? Like, it's not even that important.
I'll waterboard a fucking C-suite.
Just
for the pleasure of it.
Oh yeah. They're like, what information? I'll tell you anything. Like, I don't actually want to know anything.
I put that rag over their face,
having a good
big
time.
glass of water. Let's slap them up.
It's for the love of the game, baby.
Thimbleweed Park 2 is happening because Ron Gilbert's friend knows a rich guy who's a big fan of the original and wanted more. This is Peterson, my dream baby. Ron Gilbert, he's a 40-year vet. He he made like Maniac Mansion, Monkey Island. He was talking to Jason Schreier because there's only one game journalist left. He released Thimbleweed Park in 2017. It was a hit, and he's wanted to make a sequel ever since. He just hasn't because he hates normal publishers. Yeah. He's like, they just want to make back their own money, and then they still want to make the majority of the money. Or there's like a bunch of other shitty terms. He just got sick of working with publishers. So he's like, I guess I'm just not going to make the sequel. And so a friend approaches him and he says, hey, I know a rich guy who wants to fund the sequel. He's like, okay, I've heard this before. He sits down with this dude. He's like, oops, yep, this is happening. Put together a pitch, put together a budget, few $1 million, 2 years of development. That's what they're looking at for this. Yeah. And I think this is the model, man. Like this is what's so crazy to me about rich people is like you could just do something like this.
Yeah.
And that 2 year thing, he's like, we've got a very generous way to pay him back to make that investor whole. And with a super popular game like this, it's just sitting there.
Yeah, Thimbleweed Park 1, I played it and thought it was fantastic. Brought me back to the old school Sierra days, point and click adventures. And so, yeah, I was like, this is great news. Thimbleweed Park 2, great news.
So just a huge shout out to anyone listening to this podcast that knows a rich guy. Two dudes,
anyone know Rich
Firewood
Guy?
Studio. We're here.
Let's make this
You
happen.
just let us know. We'll make it happen. We'll make a sequel to basically just any cool game you want. We'll go find the guys. We'll
Dude,
make the
we
game.
can even crowdsource like what are the theme of our game is. Be like, what do you want to be? Give us a theme. We will make a dope game from this. Don't even worry about it. We got you.
I don't know about crowdsourcing that. It's gonna be
No,
being
I'll
a foot
crowdsource it.
game.
Nah, dude, we can make a foot game, bro. I'm make a foot game right now. It's gonna be called Piggies.
I am actually resigning from Firewood Studios effective immediately.
First game, Piggies.
It's
It's
on the
feed-based.
decision of the studio to make Piggies.
Mhm.
I hate it. I
No.
don't want to play Piggies.
It's gonna be dope.
Okay, fine. I'll play Piggies.
It's a feet dating sim. See, you're in again. You're in again.
I'm back in. Can I get my position back?
Oh yeah, yeah, you can, bro.
I can't wait to make Piggies.
Come on in.
The Simpsons Hit and Run is coming back in some form or another, according to creator Matt Groening. Guys, this is like we keep hitting this. People keep spouting off about this. People involved. This was at D23, which is some Disney conference. He said, "quote I think the original game is coming back in some form. I feel like we reported on something Hit and Run related. Some other guy. I think it was." Who's the other guy on The Simpsons? I don't know. Some other dude said something similar. So they know something we don't. I think Simpsons Hit and Run is actively in development right now.
On its way. Yeah.
You don't get something like this from Matt Groening himself without it. He's not just spouting off. And when he says in some form, I'm hoping it's a sequel, baby. Don't just remake it. I'd be
Don't just
so
remake it. Like, let's get a new one.
Make Hit and Run remix or
Well, if they remake it though, they need to it needs to essentially be a new game because there's way more Simpsons stuff to add in. Like they've got seasons and seasons and seasons of Simpsons that like things that have happened that they could add to the game. So yeah, we've been talking about Simpsons game for 10 years, I think. So
we're gonna get it. Then we can close up the podcast.
This is our most long-term manifest ever. But yes,
Yep.
we will take credit for it for
and we
sure.
Can just be done. Oh, thank God.
For sure.
Yeah, we made this.
We made it happen, baby.
Dude, it's time for JD's sales report.
Oh,
There's
it's
3
just a
stories.
regular
Can you
one?
give me the short one?
I didn't know. It was just right there. Where's the other one? Was it this one?
Dude.
There we go. It was real far.
Dude.
Give me the short one. I'll give you the short one.
They got 100 game pass, got 200 day one. 20 million in the bag, watching sales start to slump. Talking shopper on the top of JD's jugular, it's Trump. He can make them economical as JD's sales report. It's reporting with variety, fucking the propriety. Suck it up and listen, gonna gain some notoriety. Gaming ain't free, not since they was late fees. Peter City must oblige, even if he disagree.
Dude.
It's time for JD's sales report.
I actually have some stories here. That's why we had to listen to the whole long one. I mean, you get to listen to the whole long one. Red Dead Redemption 2 has officially sold 87 million units.
That's crazy.
That's a lot. That's a lot of
87
units.
mil.
87 million.
Good.
Yeah, that's this is. I wouldn't be surprised if its ultimate life cycle gets over 100 million. People repurchasing it.
It's worth it, to be honest. Like, it's a great game. I know we both fell off
really
the cliff.
Shit all over it, but
it was really good. And I think about it and I'm like, yeah, it was a great game. My kids have played it. A few of my kids have played it and they love it. But the problem is it's way too long, 40 hours too long.
God,
but I
yeah.
like the story. The story was too long. I love all the stuff
And not
they added to it.
great. I'll do a
but-
long story, but it better hook me the whole time.
No, I don't. That's why I quit. I did the story and I was like, okay. I got to a point I was like, I can't. I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore.
GTA, according to an anonymous source cited by, but Jason Schreier, so it's legit. GTA 6 pre-orders have, quote, vastly beaten expectations. There's a lot to unpack there. Beaten expectations would be one thing. How do you set expectations for a game of this magnitude? It seems like the expectations are through the roof, and the fact that they've been beaten is notable. The fact they've been vastly beaten is insane, and that's why these two stories work really well together. Being both Rockstar games, their last two games, I would be so interested to see what their initial sales numbers on GTA 6 come out to be. If they are, I wouldn't be surprised if they're pushing 50, 60, 70 million. If they're pushing close to the overall lifetime sales of Red Dead Redemption 2 within their first year. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think you had kind of predicted this, and I've thought about this many times, but like so many people are going to want to play it that cannot play it because they won't have a machine to play it on. I think that's going to be a crazy.
Wait, you don't have $1,000 to buy a PlayStation? Come on.
I mean, I do. No, I do. No,
I'm good.
But like other
like
people,
some
right
people,
now. I know some people who are like, can't do that.
Square Enix has seen 88% profit growth, and they are citing strong performance across all categories of their video game business. Square Enix and by the way, I don't know if you saw all the stuff at D23 that came out about the new Kingdom Hearts 4. They're going to put out another Kingdom Hearts game without 18 in between him. So that's going to be cool. And it looks dope.
I think everyone's confused about that though. Like, I don't know where was.
How will you cram in 150 hours of a very confusing story that I have to catch up on via YouTube videos between games?
And the YouTube video is 30 minutes. Like that's how bad it is.
Yeah, but Square Enix has just been this weird bright spot in the gaming industry just in general, that they've just been kind of quietly just chugging along through maybe one of the roughest periods since like the 80s collapse after Atari went under. We're in probably one of the worst periods of the entire gaming industry, and Square Enix does not seem to be aware of that.
Yeah,
they're just out there just pumping out awesome games,
like,
Final Fantasy games.
What is going on with all these other companies? Like, I don't understand.
It's not that hard. You just go make games, right?
You know, the game that people love, just keep releasing good games that they want in that IPA.
Yeah, again, make sure that they're good.
IP.
But yeah, the Dragon's Quest, Final Fantasy, and we're gonna have a new Kingdom Hearts game next year. Yeah, they've just been killing it. Octopath Traveler, just a lot of good stuff. So, I don't know if you want to work in games, and
do Square Enix.
Square Enix. They're the only place. That's the only place left. It's the only show left in town.
Kudos.
Kudos is a positivity segment. We have shout outs to give to things that we like, and we had a very positive week.
We did have a good week. We had a good week.
Yeah, a good one. Do you want to go first?
Why don't you do one of yours first? Because you got two,
mine's
right?
kind of both. Yeah, well,
they're kind of the same. Okay, I'll do mine first then. Let me get this one done. So we got home from the cruise, and I went to a banana baseball game. If you've heard of this,
banana, you're saying it wrong.
What?
It's not bananas.
Banana baseball.
Isn't it Savannah Bananas?
So the Savannah Bananas is a team. The league banana baseball.
Oh, but it's not really a league, isn't it? Just the two teams.
We didn't even see Savannah Bananas. It was the firemen versus the party animals. So it's more
become
teams.
A league now.
Yeah, they have a handful of
teams.
Is
one always goofy and one's the straight team? Or
no, they're always good. They're all goofy. The party animals were like partying it up. There's like the umpire who's like a ninja, who's doing flips and stuff, and they're doing all these weird tricks and like dancing in between plays. Like Yeah, it's like a silly baseball, but it's fast. So if you're a person that's like baseball's fun, but like the games are a little long and boring, then this is the version for you because they put a 2-hour clock on it. They're like 9 innings or 2 hours, whichever comes first, and the clock starts and you just go in and they start playing. They don't do that crazy thing where like there is like I feel like 20 plus seconds between pitches in Major League Baseball. No, it is like pitch. The guy swings, misses, pitch. It's like fast. They're just like playing. Like I saw a guy get struck out because he was doing the whole like winding his bat up thing, and the guy pitched it and he wasn't ready and it was a strike. And they're like, yep, the strike. You gotta be ready.
Yeah,
And like
love
the guys,
that.
they're dressed goofy, like the fireman had a guy with a cowboy hat and shorts, like tight
Mhm.
shorts on. He's out there pitching like that, and like, but they're like baseball players. They're not like it's not like screwing around like a bunch of like they're playing baseball. They are playing the game of baseball. There's just different rules, and it's wacky. The music never stops. You know how like they'll do walk up music, then it has to go off when they pitch. They don't want distractions. Not in this. The music does not stop ever and the song will change 4 times during the same batter. It's just like, here we go. And they're silly songs and they're good songs. And they're like, it's crazy. And all the guys have like a different theme for that person. They gave everyone these wristbands with like lights on it. And they're like, hey, put them on. Then they shut off the stadium lights. And then like your wristbands lighting up. They're all doing it in sync and stuff. Like everyone in the sold out stadium. It was just fun. Like you go and it is a good time. It can be a tiny bit overwhelming because there is like stuff
It's just
happening.
going on constantly because that's what I
And,
like
like
about pro baseball games. You just kind of chill and it just happens to you.
No,
It
this is
seems like you got to be pretty engaged.
oh yeah, and they keep you engaged. Like you could watch the game, or you could watch the guys over here. There's 3 guys doing a dance, or you could watch the mascot doing a backflip somewhere. Like off sitting, he was sitting up on the top of the scoreboard. I was like, I don't even know you could get up there, but like there's 10 things going on at once all the time. It was really fun, and like mid inning, they'd be like, oh, we're gonna interview this person, or like here they're doing some choreographed dance while there's the batters in the batter box, and they're just like, oh, we got to dance now. And it's wacky. It's so fun. The teams were like the themes of the teams were pretty funny. Like, of course, the party animals were all about like party and DJ, and there's all these they're all being all wacky, like it was a good time. It was really a good time. The tickets are not overly expensive. Um, to get the tickets, you have to sign up for like a lottery when they announce it, and then you can buy 5. And so, like, I just recommend people have this on their radar and try to go if it's in your town because you don't even have to like sports. It's fun. It's insane. The whole thing is nutso the whole time, and it's an experience everyone should have because it is such a good time. It's so
Have you
wacky.
been to a Globetrotters game?
Yeah, I have.
And
It's
how do you think they compared?
it's like a Globetrotters game times 5 because Globetrotters are like doing crazy stuff and things like that. It's not like because these guys are playing a real baseball game and it has different rules. Like if a fan catches a foul ball, they're out. The innings, you score each inning. So whoever wins that inning gets a point. It's not total score, it's you score each inning. Yeah, like
that's kind of cool. You win an inning. I like that a lot.
It's very different. Like they've got rules that are a little bit wacky, a little bit zany, a little different. But yeah, it's like a Globetrotters game, but like it's a real game, and there's so much more going on. Like I can't even express how much is happening at any given moment. Like it's wild.
And they do a full 9 innings.
If they make it, we only got to I think 7 before the timer ran out.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they go 9 innings, then it'll go full 9. If not, they just go to the 7 or they just go to the 2-hour time limit.
Huh.
And they don't stop the clock. They're like, turn it on. Here we go. This game is going. And it's not slow. It's fast. They're just blowing through guys. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have a chance to go to Banana Ball, go do that. Of course, like Savannah Bananas is the popular team that everyone knows. But if you have a chance to go, you should definitely go check it out. It was such a good time.
I love that. So I have an obvious kudos because clearly you guys probably just have figured out just from listening to us. We had an amazing time on the SaltCon cruise.
Yeah.
So amazing. I honestly suggest that anyone that thought about it or looked at it or heard about it on the podcast and was like, oh, maybe I should have done that. Do it.
It's the best way to go on a cruise
Oh
for
my God.
real.
Only my second cruise, and the first one was like that 3-day one down to Ensenada, so it was kind of a baby cruise. But I could tell I got a lot of the cruise vibe. I mean, we were there for 7-8 days. It was fucking forever.
Yeah.
And I got the vibe for a cruise, and it seemed to me like there's a lot of downtime. And the downtime fillers on the cruise ship itself are hot garbage, shit pile, waste of your time. Peterson and I went to one trivia thing, and the woman running it was just like looking at her phone. She clearly pulled up like just a random list on Google. It wasn't themed. It had no organization. It was just random things that were, I mean, I guess, which is kind of trivia, but usually trivia has a theme or it has some organization or. And then she's like, and everyone and anyone who the winner gets a pen. She pulls a pen out of her pocket. Like it was like a joke, but I was like, okay, but like that's really why we're here. I mean, trivia is fun inherently, sure. But if there's no prize at all, far less fun. And if it sucks, then I'm out. And that was like all of the activities. However, we went on the SaltCon cruise, so you didn't have to do any of that shit. You just went down to the convention center on the second floor, and it was packed, just chock full of tables and a pretty decent sized library. Certainly not the size of the full SaltCon library, which is enormous.
But like more games, all the games that you wanted to play,
more than
they
we
were
could have
there.
ever played. Enough games that Peterson and I, honestly, I think based on what we played and what we still saw, we could have been on this cruise for a full month before we were like, okay, we need more games. Like that's how many games there were and how many solid, because they were trimmed down to their best. Like, and that's what they did.
And so Phil was saying he likes cruises, he likes board games, but he can't imagine he would love the melding of the two. We were unsure about this going into it. We were like, what's this going to be like? I was like, it was.
I really said this could go to complete shit, but at least it'll be a funny story. That was 100% my attitude going into this. Like, it'll be a funny story.
But like you had downtime on the cruise, especially we had 2 days in a row where we were at sea cruising. And I can't tell you, every single person in the SaltCon group loved those days. Not bored at all. I was talking to my son's girlfriend. She's like, well, I went on that cruise, but her complaint was like, it was a little boring.
The non-SaltCon go up to Alaska.
Because like you can't hang out on deck that much and go hang out at the pool.
I can do the water slide.
It's pretty cold.
50 degrees. Yeah,
it's pretty cold and very windy all the time.
Yeah,
and so like being able to just like, you know what? All I have to worry about today is we have dinner at 5, and that's it. And even if we miss dinner, like, who cares? We can go to the buffet dinner, and like it didn't matter. You just go down, not worry about a thing, and just play games. And some people would play games for hours and hours, multiple days. And we would just like set up a game, and you could just leave it set up down there because other people were not going into the convention.
And there was
center.
tons of table. Yeah, exactly.
Plenty. We never ran out of space. I was worried about like table size and space. No, it was like big long tables. There was no issues. Playing the games was honestly the highlight of the cruise for us.
And look, like if you've been to SaltCon, which we have a couple times, even with the because we never really, like, you live up there and I live in 45 minutes away, so I live far enough or close enough that I can't justify staying there. And quite frankly, like I love board games and like playing and stuff, not that much to dedicate 3 full straight days to it. And so every time we've gone to SaltCon, sit down, play a couple games, whatever. The setup here where you are at sea and you have nothing to do but play games. It makes you want to jump into a 3-hour game. And
you have no qualms about that. You're like, I would otherwise all I have to do is go listen to a jewelry pitch or some garbage.
There's nothing else going on, and the casino was always closed. And the craps table never had people on it. And the blackjack game was 15 minimum. So we were squared.
Yeah. Let's go play
games. And you have all of these people. Anyone, you just point to them, hey, will you come teach me this game? Will you come play this game with me? Like, willing, happy people to sit down and play. Because outside here at home, finding 4 people to play a 2.5 hour board game is a feat.
Yeah,
And
it's
you're
hard.
wondering the whole time, are they gonna, is this, we've been going too long, and we can't just like walk away if something needs to have, we need to go to dinner, and we can't just leave this all here set up. So yeah, the inherently was such an amazing and I was laughing, especially on those, your son's girlfriend that was talking about how boring it was. We saw a number of people on deck throughout the ship playing card games,
Sitting around playing
board
card games.
on these tiny little tables, trying to make it work because they had the foresight to realize that there was going to be some slow down days. This cruise had it, it was perfect. It was absolutely, you go up on deck, look at a glacier, go down, play your game. And they did an amazing job. The SaltCon people did an amazing job. There were 2 social events we had. One the first night and then one the last night, and that was awesome because they were like they had like little appetizers and an open bar, which is so cool, and we all sat around. But then they ensured that we were all sitting together at dinner, so we ended up playing a lot of games with the people that we were at our dinner table.
That we just met on the cruise, like we met them there,
and we just played, and so it wasn't like you had to sit with some awkward people that you don't know for the whole cruise. In fact, you're sitting with people that are all in the same like vibe, which I think is another huge thing about this cruise. Because think about it, dude, if we had spent every dinner sitting at that table with 4 randoms, or like a small family,
we would not have
gone to dinner. We wouldn't have gone to dinner that much.
No,
honestly. And so I don't know. And they said that they were considering doing another one in 2028. Going south, going somewhere warmer. I hope that means they're thinking about doing it in the winter. That would be amazing. And I like Peterson said, we were not expecting this to be anything amazing. We weren't expecting. We didn't know what to expect. So you go into it with that attitude, and our mind was just blown, and we both left like, I can't wait to go on the other one.
And I was like, I don't want to go on a normal cruise. I want to go on board game cruises because that's so much. Like, you never were like wanting something to do. You always had a thing to do, which feels fantastic. So
yeah,
honestly, major kudos to SaltCon.
Crushed it
for putting this on because this was spot on.
And we're going. Like I said, we're going next time. So you guys want to come hang out with us on a cruise? You know where to find us in 2028. We'll be on a big boat, chugging through the ocean way too fast. And one other thing that we found on this cruise, we stopped in 3 places: Juneau and Skagway, Alaska, and Victoria, British Columbia in Canada. And could leave it with Juneau, could leave it with Skagway, certainly.
They were fine, but it wasn't like
they exist.
You know, be like, that was freaking dope, right?
Yeah,
we got
those
to see
cities.
Wales was awesome.
That was cool. Saw some. Oh man, that was another thing. Like, we got to see whales bubble feeding. We got to see humpback whales bubble feeding in the ocean dozens of times on our board game cruise. Like, what? Anyway, but the stop in British Columbia, we were so sad. We were only there for a couple hours because it was the best. And honestly, I'd move there. That city rocks. Super pretty. So nice. Just tons of cool. We ended up in the Chinatown. We ended up wandering around a little bit. We stopped at a coffee shop for a little bit to catch up on like emails and work stuff.
We just like, let's go check it out.
They have a great museum. Found a fantastic smash burger. Like, Victoria, if you guys have an opportunity to go there, if you're in Seattle, you want to take the ferry up, and you're like, I don't know. We didn't even go to the gardens thing that everyone's supposed to go to.
Butchart Gardens is like their big attraction.
I'm so glad we didn't go. I'm sorry I didn't mention that.
We would have missed the whole city.
We would have missed the whole city. I'm so glad we did not go to that.
That ended up being the funnest port that we went to because we just went. We didn't know what to expect. We just went and walked around downtown, and it was fantastic. And even the touristy part, we were like, yeah, this is awesome. This is great.
It was because Juneau and much more so Skagway exist. They exist because of cruise ships. I mean, Juneau's the capital of Alaska. You know, it's an actual town, but Skagway straight up would not exist without cruise ships. Victoria, and you feel that vibe when you're going to town. There's like
1000%.
87 people that live there full time, so it's like not a real place. But Victoria is a real legitimate city, and it's got like a thriving scene. And we got mistaken for Canadians, which by the locals. So that means I basically can move there. They were like, oh, sometimes Americans come here, and we're like, yeah, those fucking
Freaking
assholes.
Americans. Oh my god,
Those guys suck.
They suck,
Fuck 'em.
eh?
It's okay. So yeah, SaltCon Cruise, awesome. Victoria, British Columbia, awesome. Just an amazing week. SaltCon, way to go. You guys just
Genuinely
nailed it. This is the dude who put it together, the SaltCon guy. We asked him, he's like, oh, this is only my second cruise ever. We're like, what? It just come out and just knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Ugh, amazing.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Did you do that?
I don't remember. I was like, why didn't we ever remix this one? And I don't know.
What? Did it just do it itself?
Did AI make that for me live?
Okay. I
Like,
love
what's
that.
happening? I
We
seriously
haven't done
don't
it.
know.
Clearly in so long. Good, Bad, and the
It's been a
Ugly
while.
is our little segment where we talk about the good, bad, and ugly aspects of games. Yeah, we haven't done this since November of last year, so it's been a hot minute.
It's been a little while.
And obviously we want to keep the vibe going. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly aspects of tabletop games, which you got really deep into this. How many did we play? Like 6 or 7?
I don't
We
know.
played it. We were just getting after it. And one that I keep thinking about it. I know it wasn't your favorite, but that Fallout one.
Oh, you keep thinking about the Fallout one?
Yeah, dude.
You just want to try it with more and like the chaos of it.
It was, yes. That was so fun. What kind of game is that?
was just
it wasn't trick taking.
No,
I made it a deck. I was playing it like a deck.
It was just like a competitive card game. It wasn't even like a deck builder. You just had a set deck.
That was so cool.
Yep.
Fallout Power Play, if you guys are wondering what we're talking about, is a really, really fun little card game. Quick to learn, really fun. Anyway, so good, bad, and the ugly. Let's just go random.
Yeah, because I have like
back and
4
forth.
good, 4 bad, 2 ugly.
Yeah, just throw it out. So start with whatever you want.
Okay, I'll start with a good one. I absolutely love it when board games, you open up the game and the pieces themselves are quality and nice. You touch it and you're like, oh yeah, or like the coloring of them is nice.
Yeah,
like
not
there's
just
something.
stickers on cheap plastic.
Yeah, you get it and you're like, I like this. And like, I don't know, there's something it adds to the game for me when it feels like the creator of it put some thought and love into it. It's more expensive to make the wooden pieces. It's more expensive to make a like a very soft, shiny wooden piece, you know, that is a funky color. And like when you see that, you notice it, and it is like a hallmark of the game. You're like, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. So that's a good for me.
Since we're talking about pieces, I'll talk about a bad. Is when there's a lot of tiny pieces.
Like lots of little guys.
It's okay if the game has lots of pieces, but if they're all important, and if you lose one, you can't, like, every player starts with 20 tokens, and so you've got 80 tokens in the box, and if you lose 2 tokens, then 2 players can't play.
You gotta like substitute it with something random.
Yeah.
And like that is
Put
hard,
dice.
especially when the game goes out of print and you're like,
Mhm.
well, what am I supposed to do?
I got to be honest. I'm always shocked that more games don't just use dice as counters. That's what I ended up. When we played Pokemon trading card game competitively, we used dice, and I was like, oh my god, why doesn't everyone do this for everything? So I'm just use dice, you guys, and you can throw in a 20-sided dice that takes out 20 pieces, and you could get a really nice funky dice for that.
And anyone can replace it with whatever they want.
But
you know?
but 100 little tiny wooden cubes, not my cup of tea. I don't like it.
Okay. I've got. Let's do another bad. When you're playing a game, and some of the things are so complex that you're constantly in the rule book.
Dude, that's on my thing. That's
So you're
on
like,
my bad. I have the
we
exact
gotta
same
look.
one.
We gotta look this up because like sometimes it's too complex, and sometimes I will say the complexity is built into it just by the naming conventions of stuff because they're like, oh, here's our theme, and so like you're like, what's a quasar? I don't know what that means.
Call it
Like,
its
what are you
normal
talking
thing.
about?
Call it
Like,
a health bar.
yeah, and so you're like, I don't understand, and so you're in the rule book and you're like, oh, it's just that, and so just games where, and not because like games where you have to be in the rule book all the time, and you can tell, like you said, like people will go through the rule book, be like, is this right? That is not a great design. If we have to go in there constantly, there's a better way to do it.
This is a good one that Phil dropped that I totally agree with. He said bad is games with excessively long setup and teardown times.
I don't want to play it at that point.
I bought the Frostpunk board game. I kickstarted it. I was excited about it. I waited for 2 years. I got it. The box was enormous.
Gigantic. Yeah.
I sat there in an hour and a half, set it up. I mean, I wasn't even in the play part of the instructions. I was just in the setup. By the time I set it up, I sat back, looked at it, and thought, no,
I don't want to.
I took another 30 minutes, put it all back away, and I never opened it up again. And I feel terrible, but like that was bad enough that a game that I spent hundreds of dollars on, waited for years to play, and it you know, it has gotten like pretty okay reviews, but it is very hard to even win. And so like you got so many knocks against you right from the beginning. So yeah, don't take this long to set up.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, what's your next one?
Next one is ugly is unbeatably hard games because sometimes they're still fun. We played one in particular, the Mistborn deck builder game, and it absorbed our lives for a whole day on the cruise.
Yeah,
because
we really spent a lot of time into this.
Yeah, we could have played a lot of other games if this game had been slightly easier to win.
But like we did like the deck building aspect of it.
Was
like
so
that's
fun.
what we both kind of wanted, we were both kind of like craving a deck builder because we'd played some board games, we'd played some card games. We're like, we want to do a deck builder, and this scratched the itch.
It was a good deck builder.
It's a good deck builder.
It's one of my favorite ever, if I'm being straight.
But the game itself was like impossible.
So hard, so punished, and it was like getting so so that's the thing, is like sometimes that can be okay because the game was really good and it kept us coming back. If it had been as good as it was and we'd beaten it right away, we would have put the game in the box, put it away, and never talked about it, and been done with it. So that's why it was kind of ugly, because it was good that it was so hard. And the same thing with the Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship. We played the same thing, punishing, very hard to beat. But I would go back and play it again. It was so much fun.
We had a great experience because I was doing character voices for the different characters.
Yeah, Peterson had a great experience. He had a great time with his voices. He was having a lot of fun by himself.
Nailed it on every single one, I might say. Just like absolutely.
And everyone was applauding the whole time.
People kept coming over to our table and be like, dude, you
are you the voice
exactly
guy?
Like Gimli. And
oh my gosh, I thought Gimli was here. Yeah, dude, Frostpunk has an 8.1 on BGG, which is basically a 10.
Like it's for this, and that's I looked at it. That's a great score. And you just don't want to set it up because it's like a nightmare to set up.
Now I want to try to do it. That I guess I'm gonna give that 2028. I'm driving up to Davis, giving it to them, because that was another thing. Guys, all the games they got together on a pallet, shrink wrapped it, and then shipped it to the cruise, and then the cruise put it on, and then the logistics that went into that are insane.
Yeah.
But Frostpunk, that's what I'll do. I'll bring Frostpunk in 2028. We'll have some pros play it for us.
Okay, I've got a good one of my favorite things in games. You're playing a game with a theme, like a Lord of the Rings game or something like that, Fallout, and you have a card draw for an event. Like the Fallout game had that. It was like there was just the deck you would do, and it would be like a random card.
I'm sorry, was this an ugly for you?
This is a good.
Oh,
I love it. Even if it ruins everything, even if I like when I like a random event, a random deck of events that could throw a wrench into everything.
Yeah.
Where like when you play Quacks of Kedlenburg, it's like you draw a card for each round. You're like, this round, here is this. There's an additional thing to pay attention to this round. I love that random element in any game, and that having a deck of cards that you're not going to get through in several plays. Like you're only drawing a handful of them, so there's tons of them to pick from.
Yeah. I
like
like when the deck is fat. If there's 10 cards in that and I'm going to see all 10 each game.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I want a stack. So like every game that I have that has something like that, like I've got the zombie game, A Dead of Winter, where it's a hard game, but there are events. Like it'll be like open to this page, read this, and this is the scenario that you just unlocked, and you have to like do this extra thing. And like I love it. I love that.
Yeah. A good for me is replayability. It's a simple, kind of easy, low-hanging fruit. But I just love a game that the second you finish it, and we ran into this at SaltCon. Some of the games we played were like, okay, that's good.
It's fine. Yeah.
Some games we played and we played them instantly redealed, and then we went and grabbed lunch and we came back down and played another round. That's the best. That's the best feeling for me with tabletop games. There is, I can appreciate a game that when it's done and you're happy with it and we finished it. But I love a game like that's how I felt honestly with the Agricola. Like it was fun, but I was done with it when it was done.
Yes,
And we
I
played
was
another
like,
one and
I want to
like,
play
"Oh."
again. I want to play again. I loved it.
But that's what makes it good is when you want to play it again.
Yeah, I do like worker placement games like that too, and so I'm into that. I have two bads that I'm gonna lump into one. Okay,
Do it.
First is playing with a rule checker when you're playing the game and everyone kind of like you've mostly got it, and there's someone who's like, hold on, and then they get in the rule book. It's okay if you do that once. If you do that 7 times, I'm
You're
like,
the
I'm
hold-on
gonna
guy.
stab you next time. I'm gonna take the rule book and I'm gonna burn it so you can't do that again.
Yep.
I hate rule checkers so much, especially if it's like a minor thing where you can just like go around the table and be like, okay, are we guys good with this? Like, this is like some obscure little thing that might happen. We good if we just play it like this? No, yeah, let's just do that. I don't want a rule checker. The other piece is another rule themed one is when there is someone at the table who clearly did not pay attention during the rule reading of the game. It's like new for everybody.
They're on
who's
their
playing it.
phone.
They're just not paying attention. They're like, oh, you never said that. And I'm like, we did say that. Everyone else at the table knew that this was a rule except for you because you weren't paying
You're
attention.
in here for it. Yep.
It will drive me bonkers.
Gosh, I would honestly put rule checking in ugly because I enjoyed you and I working together on these rules, especially when we played the Fallout one. We ran into like a card that was broken, and it was cool because we couldn't Google it and be like, "What is going on with this card?" And so we had to just like agree.
Sit
We
there and
read
be like-
I read the rules. Peterson read the rules, and we just
And
had to
you're like,
agree.
I can't see anything about this.
On how to
Yeah.
play it. And same thing with the Mistborn. In fact, that rule book was so tattered, all the staples have been pulled out.
That was an ugly for me. Like, of course, like it needed the rules, but I think some of the things were not explained well enough to where it looked like the rule book had been overused.
But I love when it's like a team effort. It's not one rule checker while everyone's sitting around looking at their phone like, ugh, how long is this going to take? But when everyone's like trying to figure out a rule together, that's
Like
kind of
reading
cool.
the cards and be like, okay, how can we do this?
Wait, can we do this? And can we do that? Like, oh, let's just do it this. Let's just call it this. Like, it's kind of fun for me. That's kind of what I liked. I also like, this is a personal one for good, clear color distinctions on cards and pieces.
I know, I appreciate that too.
Well, the best is when it's shapes. So it's a card, it's a color and a shape.
Yeah.
And then you get, and for
That's
me,
for
I'm gonna look at
colorblind.
shape.
That's colorblind mode.
But then shapes are going to help, just in general is accessibility helps everybody. Having those shapes are going to help. So I love that. Just good, clear. If you got a magenta and a purple color, like fuck off. No.
Or no, games will often do an orange and a red, And you're like, those look too close together when they're all on the board together. Like there's
especially
a whole
when it's
spectrum.
a little meeple. The
Yeah.
meeple colors are not that well distinguished. They
No,
aren't.
no, and so I hate that. That is something that drives me a little batty. Is like there were other colors you could have picked from. Why did you choose this one? Like
Yeah.
like if there's a black piece and the board is really dark, and same with white. There's a white and the board is really light or yellow, and you're losing them on the board. You're like, you have to think about the colors, the pieces, how they're going to stand out against the board, how they're going to stand out against each other. It's lazy when they don't, I think.
Yeah.
Let's
how many
see.
more you got? I've got one.
I got a few more. Here's a quick one. Here's a good for me. Anytime, and you know this, anytime a game includes dice rolls I love dice rolls. Like it kind of goes with my other good. I love a good random element in a game. There's a little bit of chance. Like you have your strategy and that plays out, but you have to factor in for the chance element. Love chance elements in games so much. And I do like it when a game is all chance. Like I'll have fun with that. And it's not a very serious game usually.
Yeah.
But when it's just an element of a game, I really, really appreciate it.
No, it's always nice. It's cool and it's all skill based, but yeah, having a little spice in there.
Sometimes I want to roll a dice. I just like rolling dice.
Ugly for me is troll mechanics in a game because it can be very fun to do those troll things, but it can also ruin the game for the person that's getting trolled. I'm thinking specifically when Peterson and I were playing Fallout Power Play, and I was playing a faction that could just steal cards from his deck. And I happened to, not really understanding it at the time, but I stole the card.
Yeah,
that
like
his whole deck
one I
revolved
need.
around.
Yeah.
And it was basically like he couldn't win anymore. Funny for me and very fun. And it
is funny.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, and that wouldn't have been as punishing if we had 4 players.
Sure.
But one-on-one, when you're doing that, you're like, I can't.
The game was essentially over the second I stole that card. We were just playing it.
We just didn't know it for a little while, and then we got to a point where like, yeah, I think I don't have a chance. We're gonna play this out, but like,
yeah, and it's hilarious because it's a game that it's not a deck builder. It's not a game where you necessarily steal cards from somebody, but this one faction does that, and I leaned into it super hard. And it wrecked everything for Peterson, and I could tell it was like, oh, we're just gonna play this one out because it's over.
It's over. Okay, and ugly for me is you set up the game, okay, and you're like, okay, we got it, we're ready to go, and there's a few random pieces that you don't know what they are. You've set it up, and you're like, what the freak is this guy? Like what? And that happened with Agricola. That happened, I think, 2 other times where we're like, what? What are these pieces? I don't know what this piece is. And it's usually for like, ooh, here's the complex mode of it, or here's an extra rule set you can add. But every time you're just like, I hate it. It's ugly because sometimes it can be great to play those like advanced rule set versions of the game. But sometimes it doesn't explain that to you. And you're like, so you're all set up and you're like, wait, what are these 2 golden meeples? And you're like, I don't know what that is. And then you got to go look it up and you're like, oh, that's not for us. So it's always something like that. It's always some kind of weird, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of ugly. I don't love it. What else you got? I got 3 more. They're
okay. Under explained instructions. I feel like the Mistborn game suffered from this a little bit.
There was some of that.
Yeah, I get it. I like a concise instruction book. I like when it's thin and you pull it out and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be able to capture this. When it can be bound with staples and not glue, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it can be a little, because the Mistborn deck builder is primarily a competitive game, but you can play a cooperative version of it. However, the cooperative version has 2 pages in the instruction manual. And I'm like, I don't think that's enough, guys. And especially since they made it so punishing, Peterson and I kept flipping back there thinking, were we missing something? Is there something missing?
And when we finally got internet, we went and looked, and like a lot of people on Board Game Geek and on Reddit were like, this game is punishing on the co-op version. here's because we're like trying to come up with mods ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do to make this a little bit better? We tried
I
one out,
hate
it made it a little
doing.
too easy.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing it. I just don't want it to make it easy for ourselves. I just wanted to balance it is all I wanted to do. And that's what people had suggestions online for, like, here's what we do to balance the game. And it wasn't cheating or it wasn't cheap. It was just like making it more fun because they're supposed to be fun.
Right.
But yeah, underexplained rules are frustrating. And I've played a few games that have that. And you're just like, I don't want to, you have to like go online and look it up, which is very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ooh, we kind of talked a little bit about this. One of my goods is a game with good art and a good theme, like a beautifully artistic game with like a cool theme. Like that's one of the reasons why I love Wingspan, Fishspan, Wormspan, because they're like the theme is really fun. But also I saw this game and I was like, JD, you gotta play this because a lot of people are playing it. I think it's well reviewed. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's the book one where your game is you are trying to build your home library and you have to go into town to buy books to do that.
So
but guess
cute.
what?
You get a social battery.
You love books, so you don't love people. You have an introvert social battery, essentially. You have to go home, do things to fill your social battery so you can go back into town and get more books. And you have to organize them on your bookshelves at home. And I was just like, I love a good, fun theme because sometimes games have themes and you're like, that was unnecessary. Like, you honestly, the theme of this felt like an afterthought, like nothing else revolved around the theme. But I like it when there is a theme, they lean into it. Like Wingspan does that amazing because every bird card has facts about the actual bird that you can read and like, oh, that's fun. When they lean into the theme of it, you're like, yes. The Fate of the Fellowship, which we played, was a very, very Lord of the Rings game. Like it was all Lord of the Rings, and we played the like beginner version of it, and essentially is like playing through the movies. And you're like, yes. I like this.
Yep.
Lean into it hard. Yep. But yeah, every now and then you get a game, you're like, what was the theme was pointless. I don't even know.
The theme will keep me in a game because I loved the Mistborn deck builder, but I loved the theme of it and the cards of it, and they all stayed on brand. I just thought that was great.
Yeah.
I got nothing. What else you got?
Okay. My last couple bad is
I have one more. Sorry.
So people doing other things than playing during the game. When they're eating, like this happens at my house all the time. We'll start playing a game and my son Colin gets up and go get food. Go make food. He will make food when we start playing the game.
I'm flipping the board.
I want people to sit down and play the game. I used to play poker with some guys who just smoked all the time. They're like, "Okay, smoke break." And we're like, "Dude, you smoked 4 hands ago." Like, I want to sit down and play the game. I don't want to eat. I hate it when my kids are checking their phones while we're playing the game. Like, I want
that was
to
another
sit
great
down
thing
and
about
play the
Salcon.
game.
No one had phones because no one had internet because it cost $20 a day.
It was like $30 a day. $20 was if you wanted to buy it for the whole cruise. So you were paying.
Oh, but daily was like 30.
It was 22 a day. If you wanted to buy one day, it was 30. 22 each day, only if you bought all the days.
Insane.
It was so expensive, and so people were like, yeah, and a lot of people didn't. And so it's kind of nice. Like, no one was just like scrolling on their phone during games. Okay, what do you got? I got. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think that's it.
Okay, my last one is just another very low-hanging fruit on the good is simple to learn, difficult to master. I like when you get the game instantly. You're like, oh, I get what I'm doing.
I get
it. It's gonna be so hard to be good at it.
And you're not good your first playthrough. You're not good. And then you're like, you're like, okay, we got to play again because now I understand what I'm supposed to try to do.
Agricola was a perfect example of this, where we played it wrong the first time. But even playing it wrong,
we had a great time. Like we got it. Yeah.
And then when someone came in and they're like, oh, you're actually supposed to have these 6 cards down at the beginning of the game. And we could all of us instantly knew like that how much easier the game would have been because we had mastered it. So we learned it so quickly. Yep. And then we were all like, oh, let's get back in and see how it actually plays. And I would imagine I would play probably Agricola 10 more times before I feel like I'd like got it. Like I had a strategy.
Yeah.
I knew how to
for
other
sure.
people's strategies. I knew how to recognize what people were doing and then counter that. Like it would take me some time and that may be why I was like, I'm kind of over it because I didn't want to invest that. Because Phil said he loves it. He's like plays it all as one of his top 10 games. I wasn't that interested in learning it because I could tell it was going to take some time to master, and that's a good game. That's a sign of a good game because I got it instantly, but
It would
it'd take years
You'd
to
play
get
it a
good
few
at it.
times to like really figure it out.
Which is
Yeah.
cool. So great development, great work. That's all I got. Guys, jump in our Discord and sound off. Phil dropped a bunch of good ones. He's got ugly games where after you punch out all the pieces and unpack the stuff, you can't get it back in the box. Hilarious. Hilarious. He said
Yes.
good is when a game can have a thematic element but still be crunchy mechanically. So yeah, guys, I want to hear your good, bad, and uglies of tabletop games. We don't talk about it that much on this podcast, so I'd love when we do. So you guys got some good stuff.
We can
Shout
review
out.
some of the games we played too. Like we
That's
played
a
a
really
few
good
games. We
point.
could review some of them.
We'll be talking tabletop game for the next couple weeks.
We'll
So
we'll get a few in there.
get in there.
Okay.
Dice of Destin. Nope.
Not doing it this week.
Nah, not gonna do it, and maybe not do it next week. I did choose for my horror game, Mina the Hollower, which I'm very excited to play, especially after listening to the music that we're gonna play here in a second. Nah, not gonna do it. Sorry.
Because JD, we were gone last week, and obviously we weren't just like sitting around playing video games. We were playing board games. That's what we were there for. And then this week, JD's going on travel again tomorrow morning. He's got to go for a work trip.
Very cool.
So we're
Very
just
cool.
anticipating that he's not going to play.
I will have spent 3 of the last 4 weeks out of town. I'm really excited. I love it. It's so
He
great.
loves it. He's having a great time.
Love the airport. So yeah, I'll hopefully have a review for Mina the Hollower soon. And that's it. That's a longie. Was not expecting it, but
Yeah.
hey, we had to make up for the shorty last week, so you got to
Yeah,
get
we
all the
did.
news in. So to play us out, we've got Blighted Docks from Mina the Hollower, which initially, because you hear this weird music thing, it's
Yeah.
it's the waves.
Oh yeah.
It's called Blighted Docks. I was like, oh my god. And this is just a random song I just picked. I cannot wait to play this game.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so old school. I'm pumped. All right. I'm JD logging off.
And this is Peterson going AFK.
Thanks to Phil, Patrick, Snorgle, Abby. Thanks for jumping on.